I want to talk to you about Mueller's secret authorization for Trump's witch hunt. It turns out that Rosenstein was able to give Mueller a secret authorization to investigate not only Russian collusion, but anything else he wanted to investigate. He broadened and expanded the scope of the investigation secretly because he never told the public. And we found this out because in Manafort's trial, it turns out that the prosecution was trying to put him in jail for something that was beyond the scope of the public authorization for the special counsel that Mueller is running. Well, in that authorization, you cannot indict somebody or prosecute someone based on facts that occurred even before Trump ran for office. So obviously he couldn't have any collusion with the Russians. However, they produced a document, the prosecution produced a document that heretofore was unknown and secret, which gave this authorization. The strange thing is that this document was produced after they had already raided Manafort's home. So, in fact, that's an ex post facto action. Anyway, because of all of this, I think it is worthwhile to go over fundamental principles of our judicial system and any rational judicial system. The first one is that you cannot start an investigation against someone unless there is probable cause for a specific crime. The reason for that is we don't want the government investigating anyone they feel like it, and therefore having totalitarian powers. The other thing is that when you're being investigated or prosecuted, you need to be able to know what you are being investigated for. How can you defend yourself if you don't know what you are investigated for? And if there is no specific allegation of the violation of a crime, because as it turns out here in America and many other countries, there's so many laws that if the government wanted to investigate anyone, they could find something to pin on the subject, because unbeknownst to him, he violated some obscure law of little or no significance, probably. Now, this is why we have these two principles in our judicial system: to protect the citizens against the government. Now, has the mainstream media actually publicized this fact or explained it? No, they don't care, because the whole purpose of this investigation is to diminish the effectiveness of the Trump administration, to smear him with a scandal that doesn't exist. So it really doesn't matter if he's guilty for anything or not. That's the purpose of this investigation is already fulfilled simply by naming the special counsel and having him investigate Trump throughout the Trump administration. If they find nothing, it doesn't matter, because they already accomplished the purpose, which is to smear him, which was exactly how this investigation started, with a dossier which was paid for by Hillary and the DNC to get dirt to smear Trump before the election. And apparently the corrupt officials in the DOJ, you know, all of these people that you're familiar with, Orr and McCabe and Orr's girlfriend, all these people had colluded to prosecute someone, to get surveillance on a citizen, in this case, a a candidate for presidency and later a sitting president, to see if you can find something in that surveillance to pin on him, to make him resign or to impeach him or to smear him and diminish his effectiveness. So this is a horrible situation which I wanted to bring to light and underline that this is a new development that we just found out. And it is really detrimental to our country to have this whole thing happen with so much corruption. Rosenstein is the guy who authorized Trump to fire Comey. He is a witness. So therefore, you need a second special counsel to investigate why he authorized that. And if it was a proper authorization, then Trump cannot be accused of obstruction of justice, because that's, since they haven't found any collusion between Trump and the Russians, now they're looking for obstruction of justice. But obstruction of justice has to be a specific obstruction of a specific crime. And there has been no specific crime alleged for probable cause to investigate or to prosecute. So there's so many illegalities by the government that we definitely need a second special counsel, because illegality by the government is the worst. It has so many bad consequences. I interviewed scholar Fine. He's a great legal scholar, and he explains this very well, why government illegality is so much worse than individual citizen illegality. So I want you to consider all these things and let me know what you think about this government illegality by the Justice Department, by the FBI, and whether you think we need a second special counsel, and what should be the punishment, because just firing people like McCabe, that doesn't do anything. You need to put some people in jail, or else any administration will try to use the enormous powers of intelligence that we have in the Patriot Act, which of course shouldn't be there, because this is the exact reason why it shouldn't be there, because it's going to be abused. It's going to be used to spy on American citizens without probable cause, and this is exactly what happened in this case. So please let me know exactly what you all think, and I'll be waiting to hear from you. Goodbye.